Bronze Age, and we had Iron Age, and we had the Industrial Revolution. I really think hundreds of years from now they'll say there was a thorium age that began. Let me tell you how this stuff was discovered. There was a guy named Glenn.
You hit the salt with fluorine gas, and what will happen is uranium has two kinds of fluorine states it'll be in. There's uranium tetrafluoride, 4 fluoride ions, and then there's uranium hexafluoride, 6 fluoride ions. You're always refueling the core with new uranium-233, and uranium-233 is being consumed, but the neutrons from the fission are making new uranium-233. Okay, well, out of the top of the feed of thorium fluoride, you need to feed some new thorium into the blanket to make up for the thorium that you're consuming. It's a very, very efficient reaction. Let me introduce you to a typical nuclear reactor. The Watts Bar plant in Tennessee. I've actually been to this nuclear reactor before. So what was yay dense is now not so dense anymore. The other thing that happens is steam doesn't take away heat nearly as well as liquid water does from a surface. So also, here's the control rod drive mechanism, here's the rods. If you breach this part, let's say the welding failed, and this thing goes boom and out shoots the control rods, well, that's there to keep them from doing bad things like punching a hole in the top. And that actually did happen one time. Now, that was an Army reactor, and it did not have a containment building. One poor guy got impaled to the ceiling by a control rod, so...
Cognitive impairment with permanent brain damage. I said, "Oh, you mean she might have?" And he said, no, the science is very clear right now. Her children have some level of permanent neurological impairment. Probably estimated a permanent IQ loss in those kids of 5 to 7 points. There are now 640,000 children born in this country every year who've been exposed to dangerous levels of mercury in their mother's wombs. Ozone and particulates from coal-burning power plants kill 60,000 Americans a year. 1 million asthma attacks, 1 million lost work days every year. You know, that's part of the cost of coal that they don't tell you about when they say, oh, it's only, 10 cents a kilowatt hour.
Both light water reactors can fission the stuff. Then there's what's called the transuranics. That's what happens when the uranium absorbs the neutron and doesn't fission. It turns into plutonium, americium, and curium, and a few others. Most of it's plutonium. I mean, the overwhelming majority of transuranics are plutonium. So when you talk to people about waste disposal, they say, what's the concern? Well, most of the stuff that's in the fuel is just uranium. It's no more radioactive than it was when you stuck it in. And it's not really a concern. And the fission products, they are very radioactive when they're created, but they decay rather quickly. They don't really have long-term radioactivity. They just decay too fast. Out of about 1,000 kilograms, about 15 kilograms of plutonium-238 will be left over. Now this is good stuff. NASA is desperate for this stuff. Plutonium-238 is different than plutonium-239, the stuff we use in bombs. In fact, it's worthless for bombs. These